Hey folks, Machinery Pete here. I'm a long way from home in Minnesota. I'm actually out in the suburb of Spokane, Washington today, in Airway Heights, just outside of Spokane. I'm here at St. John Hardware and Implement, and I'm here with owner, third generation owner, Jim Howell. Jim, thanks for making a little time to visit with me today.
Yeah, great to see you.
Now it's not quite as flat as it is back home in Minnesota for me here. I understand Hillside combines are a big part of your business out here, Jim?
Yeah, we're out here. We're in a pretty unique area. We farm up to 50-degree slopes, and the Hillside combine probably is about 80% of our combine business. The Hillside combine originated in this country, and we've been selling Hillside combines from St. John Hardware since the mid-60s.
And right behind us here we have, there's actually another one behind it, but a pair of 9240 Hillside machines.
Right, so these are the big flagship machines, the biggest CaseIH makes. We put a Hillside conversion kit on them. The company that makes it is Hilco,
Okay.
which is in Nez Perce, Idaho.
Sure.
And they ship the parts to Grand Island, so we can save we've got to remove some of the frame and axle parts in Grand Island, and then they install the Hillside kits on them, and then we get them shipped out to us.
And what kind of grade do these machines work on again, Jim?
They'll go up to about 50% slope.
50% slope. I need some video of that in action sometime.
Yeah, we'll get them for you. They level to about 26%, and then the cleaning system levels to 15, so we can keep the cleaning system level to about 40%.
And now, Jim, your family here, a unique background, closely tied with the development of the Hillside combine. Your family, Jim, your grandfather started St. John Hardware and Implement back in 1920?
In 1928, my grandfather started it, and my father came back to the business in 54, and I've been at it about too long, since about 1980.
You've seen some ups and downs in the business over the years, haven't you, Jim?
Exactly. Yeah, we've had a nice run out here, and it's been good to us.
And you guys have 5 locations, Jim?
Yep, 5 locations here in Airway Heights. We've got 2 more in Washington, in Fairfield and St. John, and then we get down into Idaho, Moscow, Idaho, and Nez Perce, Idaho.
Okay. And with the Hillside combines, you were saying there was actually a local business in the Spokane area here that helped develop those way back when? Exactly.
The gentleman's name was Raymond Hansen out of a little town in Garfield, and he started a company called R.A. Hansen Company, Rocco, and he was the one who started putting levelers on combines, making them into Hillside combines. And
when was that, Jim? Roughly?
Roughly in the mid-60s he got started.
So the international combines he was working with were what models?
403s and 453s, and then the original bigger combine was a 1470, which was a converted 1460 with a 1480 engine on it, and then they converted them here in Spokane, and then got them out to the dealers.
So if he was working on that, I mean, your dad and grandpa must have been right involved with that back in the day, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And it was that was back when the dealers we'd have meetings and try to get enough critical mass, enough orders to have Hansen make us another build of combines.
Okay.
So,
and then as the international combines went through the years, you were telling me the 1660s, working on those?
Yeah.
And then all the way up to today, the 9240. What do you think your grandpa, and his first name was Overman?
Overman Howell.
I've never met anyone named Overman. That's awesome, Jim.
He's the only one I ever knew, but that is my middle name.
Well, that's cool. What do you think Grandpa Overman would think about one of these 9240 machines right behind us, Jim?
He'd love it. He was really into the machinery end of things and the way things operated. He'd be blown away though by the productivity of these machines.
Now, what year did your dad was Jim also?
Yes.
What year did he get involved in the business?
1954.
54. And you came back in 1980?
Yeah.
And you had been involved with Steiger before that, I understand?
Yeah, we started a company called Wyoming Steiger in Wyoming, and we sold Steiger tractors into the mines when they started reclamating all the strip mining ground down there. So we traveled all over the state of Wyoming and sold the Steiger tractors with scrapers and blades on them to level out all the dirt from the strip mining in the state of Wyoming.
Now, for people back in the Midwest or in the eastern part of the country that are watching the video, Jim, how would you describe your customer base out here? What are they growing?
We are basically small grains, mostly wheat, some barley, and then we get into peas, lentils, and garbanzos have become a pretty good crop for us.
Okay, and has that been just the last few years that's been getting bigger?
Yeah, it's gotten more prevalent in the last few years, and prior to that we had a lot of bluegrass, but they won't let us burn it anymore, so that kind of put a stop to that. There's still some, but not near what it used to be.
Okay, very interesting. And how are your customers here? What's the mood they're in right now here?
It's
late
decent. It's not bad. We had record rainfall in October. We had 6 1/4 inches of rain. We usually get 8/10, and we're all dry land, so we never turn down rain.
No,
so
you bet.
We had a good crop last year, and potential for a great crop going into 17.
Okay, and you guys, you've moved a lot of used equipment here the last year, Jim?
Yeah, the used equipment business has been good. We've slowed down on the new and tried to clean out the used, and we're getting it at a manageable level, hopefully.
Well, very good. And you do have a couple Hillside machines here if folks are interested.
Right.
And your website, what is your website again, Jim?
stjohnhardware.com.
stjohnhardware.com. And also, you have a few quad tracks, I understand?
Yeah, we've got some used quad tracks. We've got a good selection of 500s, 550s, and some of the older ones, a couple of 93 70s and 80s.
Okay, nice. Well, there's one more thing I got to have you show me before we sign off here, Jim. It's a truck. I saw it by the front of the store. You got to go show us that.
Yeah, let's go look.
Well, Jim, look at this rig. My goodness, right out in front of your store here in Airway Heights. Why don't you tell us about this truck?
Well, this is a International S120. I think it's like a 52.
Okay.
And my store manager, Mike Nelson, he started with us in 1980. I think he's got 1 week on it.
Okay.
He started 1 week earlier than I do. He's still with us, and he found this thing in disrepair and did a winter project and drove it up and surprised us with it, but did a hell of a job of restoring it. And
I guess he did.
Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories going a long ways back.
And Mike is at your Moscow?
He's our Moscow store manager.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike Nelson.
How many man hours did he have to put in to have this done?
You know, I don't know. I didn't ask him. I was scared to ask how many he put in, but it was plenty.
What kind of comments do you get from customers when they see it?
They really like it. They like to look at it and see it. And again, most of our customer base is they can remember this stuff.
Right. Wow, that is very, very cool, Jim. Very cool touch right out in front of your store here. St. John Hardware and Implement in Airway Heights, Washington. Jim, I thank you very much for telling us about the area and your business, and it's been fascinating to learn.
Thank you, Greg.